Have you ever seen a roo kick? Have you ever seen an emu run under the bright Aussie skies and said this year we'll be the one? Oi, oi, oi! What does it mean to be a part of a footy team? It's more than a game. The footy's in our veins. It's time to go. It's the Northern Footy Show. Get out of our way. We wanna see them play.
Welcome to the Northern Footy Show for our last show, Bonners, from the studio for the year. Next week, we obviously have the big show at Bundoora, our end of year. I think there's about 130 to 150 locked in for that. It's going to be a cracker of a show. We're going to be in contact with everyone this week, Bonners, and just get these final names for the tables.
Yep.
There's some super entertainment. Jamie Churchill, former Young Talent star, coming down. And then we've got Nick McCole performing live. And I felt like JD gave me a wink the other night. To say, I'll get up there. What do you reckon?
Yeah, he gave me a few, but we might have a couple later in the show, which we'll go into later on. Music acts.
I've been hijacked on the lookalikes tonight. I have no idea Bonners has taken over there. There's two that he's kept a secret, and I'm quite careful on one of them.
As you should be. It's for all those who've copped it off Compty all year, please stand by. There's a little bit of payback, not just of lookalikes, but the beauty of the internet, Compty, no matter when you put a photo up there, it doesn't matter where you put it up there, you can never get it off the internet. So it's a beautiful thing.
It sounds like I'm getting taken down with the Whitnell boys, Ray Shaw and Gary Massey got a hold.
Gary Massey and Shuri, they get a look in as well. Great people and great blokes who've done an amazing job with Bowles and the boys to get there.
The side's finalised.
Now,
you picked the coaches, I understand.
I did pick the coaches because you have a look at premierships, you have a look at their impact on football. It's damn hard to pick one, but there's a couple that really do stand out.
Yeah, I have had a look at the sides.
Yep.
And all I want to say is to the boys that did it, the five gentlemen that did it, is fantastic job. And to know that there's over 100 that had to get cut to make this would have been one of the hardest things I ever did. So
I should be thanking you. I never made 100 games, so I made it a little bit easier for
I think 500 would have been but Gary Massey, who is amazing, he's going to come to the show next week. So if you're a Gary Massey fan, Ray Shaw's coming, who was also on there, Vin Dottoli, superstar current coach, Jason Heatley, retiring superstar.
Let's see the last name.
And Robbie Marinara. Marinara. It's just easier when I say Marinara. Everyone knows who it is. All right. Now, Bonners, it's all finals this week. It's going to be a bit of a quicker show, which is great. We've got a lot of work to do after it. So what I want to do is I want you to jump straight in Division 3. Tell me the games. Tell me where we're at.
Only one this week.
And who's going to win.
Well, this week is the preliminary final. After last week, Mernda went down, beat Epping quite convincingly.
Yeah.
Old Paradians put in a massive last quarter.
Chris.
7 goals down at 3/4 time. 8 goals down. And we spoke to Kane on Sunday, and they were just they couldn't stop the Gilmore effect. So
definitely.
It's Old Paradians play Mernda, get down to Laylaw this weekend. Would be a cracking game. It's hard to go past the Old Paradians, getting that close to Fitzroy Stars. It's going to be, it'll be damn hard to stop Gilmore again. And coming into finals, this is where the cream rises to the top. It'll be within 8 or 9 points, but I still think OP's get it.
That's the game I'm going to go to, and I reckon it's really difficult, but I've stuck fat with Mernda all year. I think, again, still got the one thing I've learned out of this season of this division is it's only going to take 1 or 2 players to define who wins a game at the end, because there's so much talent in both sides. And the Gilmore girls have the effect of no tomorrow. Sammy's brother are fantastic, but they have a ton of other stars and contributors in that side.
Benny Kerner in charge. He's done an amazing job this year. It's been wrapped up by a few people. So, and it will come down to the one thing that this weekend looks like it's going to be blustery again. So, goal kicking is everything. It's where you win games and where you lose games. So
I'm going to back you on that. Whoever kicks straighter wins this game. But I think Moon to get home by about 6 points.
Yep, I say operations by 7.
So there you go. We're close.
Yeah.
Best of luck to
both. Extra time and another extra 3-minute extra time. Have you heard of any of that before? Have you ever heard of a draw in a final to have 3 minutes either way? I couldn't believe it was 3 minutes either way.
No, definitely not. But look, you know what? I'd rather that than they come back the next week.
No, I completely agree. I think, to be honest, I would say 5 minutes each way. Three's a kind of that weird one. You probably say 5 minutes each way, but if you start to leave it too long, then it starts to get extra score. So for me, 5 minutes each way is perfect. So, and then do we get them on our goal kicking if they don't? If it's a draw by the end of it.
100%. 100%. Well, that's Div 3. It's going to be a crack. You couldn't ask for a better final.
A top 3, you couldn't ask for a better top 3.
When you go straight in.
Yeah, top 3, you throw a blanket over them. So if each of these sides played each other 4 times, you probably find out they'd all win the equal amount of times over the space of time. So that's how close this competition is.
Just before we move to Div 2, I want Westy to know he's not safe. Westy, you feature in an end-of-year grand final show in the lookalikes. I promise you, it won't be flattering.
No.
Before you start sending
for a man who's thrown a lot of mud from the sanctity of his own home.
Yeah.
Westy. You know me very well. You know I'm not willing to sit back and take this rubbish and not throw back.
Sponsor.
I'm going hard.
Well, I think we've got a few tucked away for next week.
We have.
Let's talk Div 2 Bonners. This is a huge week of footy.
Yeah. Look, let's just wrap up Div 2. I mean, we had the Lorimer-Watsonia game, which was just in a final in itself. Yeah. Lorimer unfortunately went down. Fortunate for Watsonia, they've had a bit of turbulent end of year, but to stay up, they get to reload. Lorimer goes down. Now they know what it takes to go to Div 2, but it's one of those times coming down from Div 2, you come into a Div 3 competition where one team's going up, but geez, there's 3 or 4 sides that stay down there. They're going to be very competitive next year. So I can't see next year being any less. So a massive shout out to Watsonia for women winning, Lorimer for their efforts in the second half of the year. Statistics will show they've done an amazing job. Thomastown for knocking over St Mary's to get him into the finals. And Whittlesea pretty much going through. Lost one game for the year. So we've wrapped up Div 3, but let's just give a shout out to Div 2.
Yep.
That went to the last game, went to the last minute of the last game to pick the final. So massive shout out to the Northern Footy League. This is what it's created, such a great competition.
Yeah, it has. The competition's been as good as I recall seeing.
In all 3 standards, as I said, that it's just been one of the best years of football I've seen local footy. And, you look at the highlights and there's just so many. I mean, they're all over TikTok on some of the footy pages now. So just general Victorian football pages, there's heaps of them on there.
Yeah, no, totally agree. Do the Whittlesea South Marine game last. I'll intro you Diamond Creek Lowell Plenty one. Diamond Creek win this pretty comfortably, I think. But hats off to Lowell Plenty because from where they were at one stage to get back and play finals, they'll be pretty happy with that as part of a rebuild, I would have thought. Bonners, I'm really impressed by Lowell Plenty this year. Unfortunately, I'm not tipping you in this game. I think Dymo will get it done by 30, 40 points, but I think they should be proud and happy.
Absolutely. Well, they knocked over Tomo last week to go in the next round.
But you never know. Finals is a weird
game. But when you look at the ladder, you see your top 3. And your top 3, and then there's daylight. So for me, it's Diamond Creek easy, only because the quality of the top 3 sides is just incredible. And I think Lowell Plenty done an amazing job. I find it does come to an end this weekend, but it's definitely something to look for next year and a great stepping stone towards next year.
Yeah, totally agree with you there, mate. Well, the big one.
Yep. I actually think I'll go on South Marine.
So Whittlesea South Marine.
Yeah, I think... And we come back to this and the amount of pressure. We spoke to Kane on the weekend, and I find the top 5 different. To me, the top 5, you get a week off, but the pressure when you get that week off, I feel has increased, especially with these Diamond Creek and South Morang breathing down your neck. So that's very nice, isn't it?
Mark's texted me all the way in from Brisbane.
Sorry, I've just seen that, and
He's a good man, but
I'm trying to find where the other bloke with me is. That's all right.
I was going to say, obviously, they have prescription lenses.
That's all right. He's seen cross-eyed. He's seen me twice. But sorry, I got that. Just saw that. But I think, Whittlesea have done an amazing job. But geez, 5 goals. 5 goals from JD last week. Only going to find his feet. Deacon as well. Probably have a different role this week. Probably a little bit more of the footy. They make a massive difference. So the first game back's always tough for them. They've come back from VFL. It's a different standard. They've got to find their feet. JD pretty much did it for them last week. So I actually think South Morang get done by about 3 goals. I really think that it's going to be a cracking game, but there's just something about the South Morang team this year really does make you sit back and think, they're going to be tough to beat.
It's I thought about this a lot this game because it's one where my brain's saying, gee, Whittlesea should win this pretty convincingly. They met not long ago. And then I thought South Morang have got 2 VFL players in there. We had a poster in the week about VFL players and it really opened up a lot of conjecture about where it is and it's an opinion piece. That's all
Absolutely.
It is. But what an in for South Morang to have JD come back, kick 5 and whoever Deeks played on not getting a touch really. I mean, that's
a massive difference. I know Hurstbridge get Mitch.
But on the other side, Mitch Wild, yeah. But the other side to that is what I'd say is I want guys like JD and Mitch Wild and whoever else. I want them going back to their junior clubs. You know why? Because that's what gets a South Morang out of Division 2. Like they had JD last year, and they finished finals in their first year up. So I want Deacon to come back and play at his local club and be a one-pointer.
So do I. Yeah, look, so do I. But I've always believed that I find cricket the same way as well. The 3 games to me just doesn't seem enough.
What is it? Tell me what you think.
Look, I still think five's about the
right. So let me put it to you. So it's 5 games. That means he'd have to give up a couple of games of VFL to qualify at his local club.
Which is fair enough, because in the end, we're not amalgamating Coburg and South Morang, if that makes sense. These guys come back to this, so you should always have to qualify. And I think 3 games, say a bloke, we'll put it to you this way. Some 19-year-old kids played every single game for the year.
I get that.
Comes into finals, these 2 come back from only playing 3 games from VFL. You'd be pretty irked as a 19-year-old.
Give me the other side to that. Whilst I understand that, why should a guy or guys of those talented, I don't want to say JD all the time.
No.
Just a
bit. But any
JD,
VFL, generally.
But any VFL player, why should they sit on the sidelines in finals when their local club could utilise it?
No, I agree they should be able to play. I just think that we have to have a different system. 3 games to me it just doesn't seem enough in a 16, 17. It's 17-week competition. It doesn't really put them as part of the actual side itself. And I completely agree. I think that these guys coming back to local footy is magnificent. I think it's amazing. But there has to be that little bit of, do we review it? I'm okay with them playing for 3 games. I just think that when you're looking I like to be a bit of a devil's advocate. These young kids played all year. Suddenly these guys come back. They haven't played with them all year. I understand.
You and I both played finals, cricket or footy.
You pick your best night. And we spoke to Vinny as well. He goes, it's the worst time of year.
Yeah, he said it's the only time he hates.
Yeah, because you've got there is always going to be a hard luck story.
Well, from my perspective, I'm going to get stabbed here. I'm going to get stabbed here. I think Whittlesea get this done by 22, 23 points. JD and Deeks are a big difference, but I just think Whittlesea have had near the perfect season. It's a big ground like Whittlesea at Epping. It's at Epping, big ground, wide ground. It's more Whittlesea relative than it is South Morang relative.
Ground's not small.
I'd be plenty of 4s and 6s on.
How they bring those
that was the cone just around the line. But I just meant just out of the first.
Fair enough.
But in all seriousness, I wouldn't be upset if South Morang run either. I think it's good for football either way. So I wish them both the best. I'm going to stick with Whittlesea though. And it's probably good that we don't see eye to eye for once. It's
Well, you're in a final.
It's tough.
You're like, this is one of those games where we're going to come to Div 1, which is probably worse.
Yeah.
It's a 50-50 game. I just think South Morang, coming off a win last week and a really emotional win as well.
Yeah.
You know, Wilsey get the week off, which is great. But as I said, it always comes with that asterisk. How are they going to perform after all?
You're in the shit here, Matty. Jules is on. She's here next week. Jules, I want you to go and smack him around the head next week.
No, I'm not saying that people shouldn't be playing. I'm just thinking that from an actual perspective of qualification is all I'm mentioning.
I'll ask it to you in two other ways. Would you rather see JD play or not?
It's not a comparison.
Yeah.
It's not. It's a non-answer. I mean, the two best, probably the two best.
His club, honestly.
Two of the best players in Div 2 have come back to Northern Footy League. It's not a knock on Diggs or JD.
I just want to see the best players playing footy for there. So
and that's fine. I have no.
What has she
What's she done?
My hubby cried for 28 years as he was dropped for a grand final.
Well, that just means he wasn't good enough.
I'm not sure whether Webby can find or not.
I want the best players out. It's as I said, I play devil's advocate for the guys that are actually going to miss it. If they've played a whole year. I mean, we had this thing with the AFL. Derek Kicker played all year.
Timmy
dropped for a grand final. Yeah, Tim Watson, another one. There's always going to be like the discussion is about what the qualification should be. So it's got nothing to do with these guys playing. I'm wrapped that they're playing. I think it makes for a fantastic final series.
I'm a dog at a bone here. So you played at Preston, you played VFL, and Bundura was your home club. Let's just say
if I came back and I didn't qualify, I'd accept the fact I didn't qualify. Because
if you played three and that was a qualification.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not the fact they've played the qualification. It's irrelevant this year.
But does Bundura want you in that side? 23-year-old Matt Bonadeo, before he was fat. So they want you.
But you're asking a question that's based upon what the reality is. I'm okay with the reality.
Yeah.
If it's this year, it's 3. But the question
the question: does Bundura want you in that side?
Probably not.
No.
Because by the end of the year, I'm smacked.
But in your prime year,
of course they will.
So, but it's good for footy. Can I tell you why? Because I promise you, and no one send me in any hate mail. Everyone bloody knows who Josh Dintasante is.
Correct.
He is the most spoken about. Now, I'm not trying to make this about JD, but everyone that I see in the street or I talk to or we get messages, it's all about JD at the moment, right? Because he's a superstar. Make no mistake. He could go to the next level. Piece of piss. I actually had a coach, I'll tell you after the show, a coach rang me the other day and said, how is this guy not playing AFL? How is it possible?
I'll explain it to you. It's one word: opinions. It's always going to be opinions.
But don't you want to have the ability to have him come back and play? I know you do.
No. But as I said, I'm not having. I think that the fact that they're playing finals footy is magnificent.
Yeah.
My devil's advocate is: are we doing enough games for them to qualify to be classified as that thing?
No, I know. I think 3 is the right number. I'm glad because otherwise I think we don't get them.
It doesn't necessarily mean I'm wrong. What it means is I sit there and go from a differential point of view. And there is hard luck stories. I've just said that.
We had 27 comments on it the other day. It's obviously
it's a split decision. It's always going to be a split decision.
At the end of the day, I want to see the best players play local football. And if they're good enough to come back and qualified well enough to come back, the 19-year-old kids, I know this sounds harsh, they'll get another opportunity.
Yeah, and it's just it's an argument just for a general, because you brought it up the other day. Yeah. It's a general argument. Are we right with 3? Are we looking at if they've played, say, 15 games, do they have to be a 3-pointer instead of a 1? Do you know what I mean?
I'll look in the camera and I'll say this. Always in football, play your best side.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
No ifs, no buts. If you're not good enough, you're not good enough. End of story.
Yeah, but you're having an argument for the wrong reasons. I'm saying...
I just like arguing.
I know. It's the qualification I'm saying is if someone's played 15 VFL games but they're still from the junior club, is it right that they're still 1 point or should they be 3 because they've played more VFL footy?
No,
that's the question.
That should be 1 point.
All right. That's fine.
I think.
Yeah, everyone has the right to the wrong opinion.
All right, Div 1, first week of finals.
You should wait till we get off camera. This is going to get over.
All right, Debbie one. This is a huge week. I think the mix is right here. Obviously, Heidelberg have the break this week, Bonners.
One team had to miss out, unfortunately.
And it was close. But Banyule, with all due respect, and easy to say because your mate's not here, but you know, you don't deserve to be there. You kick like shit all year, and that's not on the coaches.
Yeah.
You know, mate, if you're going to kick 9-15, 9-18 each week, this is the ramification of it. So I think the best 5 sides are in there.
There's one reality of football, mate. You don't get what you deserve, you get what you earn. And that's pretty much where we're sitting right now.
You're right.
Greensboro earned the right to play. Banyule didn't. They have to go back, and it's a long pre-season when you're that close.
These 2 games, I've got to tell you, these 2 games, my head's spinning.
Yeah.
I'd have them both at $1.01.
Yeah.
I could. It's
the line would be -1 or something. So.
Very tough. I'm really interested if anyone wants to send their tips in.
Yeah, please do. Yeah,
send them in before Bonners goes on his rant in a minute on the lookalikes. But I'm getting nervous.
You should be.
All right, let's go Hurstbridge Greensboro, which will be played at Preston City Oval. Fantastic ground. The home. Is there a Bonadeo stand?
There should be. I'm disappointed.
We might take a banner and hang it.
And mate, it's probably my favourite ground to play football. It always has been my favourite ground, not just because I was there, but I just love the atmosphere. I love where it is. It's a part of, you know, the northern part of the thing. You've got the Preston Market across the road.
Love it.
You know, the train lines there.
It's Father's Day, and I'm going to go to the footy Sunday.
Well, they're not your kids either. So.
That's sold. Who get it, mate? All right, Hursty.
I'm going Hursty. I actually think that their second half of the year has been impeccable, and they've started to get players back. To me, they look absolutely primed.
I agree, but I think Greensboro can win.
No, but
so
either team
confusing.
Can win.
Yeah, like I'm going to go Hursty, but I think Hursty got 12 points.
Yep.
I
think less. I think it'll be a goal between the two.
Yeah, it's going to be tight, isn't it? It's so hard to pick. Sorry, Greensy, not picking on you. I wish them all the best.
Hurstbridge's second half of the year, they've earned the right to say.
They've got 3 VFL players back at the moment.
Yeah,
a lot of difference going in the finals. So good on him. If Matt had his way, there'd be 400 points at it. All right, so we're both going.
I like arguing with someone disagrees with you. Monty North Heidelberg. I mean, this for me is the match of all. You know, I know we've got Old Paradians and Mernda, but
$1 again.
This would be one of the great games of the year. Both teams pretty much now, everyone back that can play. I'm going to go Monty. I just think that the quality with everyone there. I love what North Heidelberg have done. I still think they're probably missing the 1 or 2 that kind of get them over the line.
Yeah.
So for me, Monty. Once again, I mean, I reckon it's within a goal. I reckon that bad kicking will actually. I reckon it'll come down to goal kicking again.
I'm going to say it's within a goal. I reckon it's that close, but I think the mighty doggies get up. But I'm a kennel man, so I'm going to stick with the kennel. And if I don't, Elmsy will bash me. So I think
right up on social media. He's one of the Fitzroy. He's a Brisbane boy, and I'm enjoying his work.
I see you too.
I'm enjoying. No. He's backed me up, and I've backed him up. I've always got his back, Elmsy.
So I think when we've got Jules Gun players, Hurstbridge, Southie boys, Blake Fitzroy.
It's not an argument. Yeah, and they should be there.
On my duffel coat. I was going down to put it there. Cam Wild was saying, absolutely spot on.
It was fantastic. As I said, the question was asked, though, what their worth is coming back. And that's the only question.
Imagine how hard it is for the league to decide if
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no right or wrong answer. I have absolutely zero concern with them coming back to local.
I think the way it is right.
Yep, all right. And that's fine.
And we don't care what you say after that. So
I wouldn't say it was wrong. I'm just saying that
that's what you told me up there. North Heidelberg gets done. I'm going to say, 4 points in a ripper.
6 points, Monty, I reckon.
All right.
Now, that's only because Monty kicks straight.
Now, Bonners, if you diss me in these lookalikes, I'm going to kick your face.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've been given the reins. And
my God.
You want to hang around
you'll have no access to this portal.
For all those people who've been potted by Compty, please stay till the end. Because the beauty of the internet is eventually it catches up to you. Now, we've spoken about the Heidelberg factory, have we not?
We love the Heidelberg.
We love the Heidelberg factory. We've put it on Vinny to tell you what he's brought to the club.
Okay.
I actually think it's wrong.
Ooh.
Because back in 2021, we had a signing and the man in question, Keenan Posser. Now, not the Keenan Posser we see now, but there's a very big resemblance. This is very, very much the reason why. So let's put his photo up. Now, you make a decision for yourself, but
that's actually very good.
They've brought back a Messiah. So it's very hard to beat a team.
Keenan, if you're on the line, go to town on him, mate.
If you're going to have a haircut like that, Keen, I'm sorry, but I'm a little bit of man.
It's a bit of brains in that as well. We could have easily done the same.
You just sit there and go, I'm not a man that sits there and is, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I'll be honest, that really.
When you bring Jesus into the
story,
you're on your way to
it's a hell of a lot harder. Now the second one.
Don't send any religious.
Now the second one. Now we've been given a lie.
A lie.
A lie.
Ooh.
There's a man down at Bundura by the name of Danny Unan.
Danny Unan. Great
player, great footballer, but I think he's living a double life. Because when you look up Danny Unan on the internet, this is what you get to see. The Lion of Babylon, Danny Unan. I don't know which is which.
He's going to be happy with this. He's going to be very happy with this.
I'm not sure whose is who, but it's really hard. I couldn't tell them apart. But when you look up Danny Unan on the internet, this is what you find. He's living a double life.
Danny, I reckon the patch downtown on the second photo is probably not as flattering as the body, but I think overall Danny's going to be pretty happy with that.
Now we've got our old mate,
very funny man.
Our first guest on this show. The great man, Nipper. Now, you look through and you see Nipper what he loves like, but the beauty of the internet is there's old.
Never takes that hat off. And
never takes that off. I found a picture of him without his hat on.
Really?
And I was thinking, which Aussie icon does he look like? You tell me what he looks like.
Well, one's still playing.
One still, and the other one,
Nipper will like that. I reckon Nipper's happy with that as well.
Yeah, if Nipper had the smile like that,
there's
a great deal of resemblance.
He'd argue he's tackled a few guys.
He reckons he's found the crocodiles. I reckon he's had a crack at a few crocodiles.
That's a pretty good one. That's pretty close. Oh, you're on a roll.
Now, Daz.
Is this me? No.
No.
Worse.
There's a big chance you might be doing this by yourself next week. Because I'm not sure the man will let me in.
Kingy will be watching this like this.
Yep, he'll be looking at that. But
bet his arms are crossed.
Let's look at it. I've been given the Muppet Gonzo. Now, for those who've seen me and Kingy at the same football club, we do have a similar facial feature.
Let's have a look.
The unfortunate, but the only one that could go with it is Sam Eagle.
Sam Eagle. I'll tell you what, there's a bit of a resemblance there, Bonnet.
Now, I'm not checking my phone after this because I've got a bad feeling that it's going to come back to bite me. But Kingy, where the Muppets together, we've always been. I've copped Gonzo, so I think that the only two people that look alike with this is those.
Oh, that's good. Actually, Kingy, you're not going to like this, but there is a little bit of on game day. He's still very serious.
He's a very serious man. But he's great for a football club. He's done an amazing job. They've re-signed Heath for 2 years.
Well done.
Now we've got a double act here.
Double act.
You said we needed another music act for the last.
I think we're pretty full.
You reckon? Because I've gone back through the archives and there's a great man by the name of Lance Whitnell. Lance Whitnell, as he looks now, red hair, freckles, but back in the day, he had a different kind of flush hair. And it made me think, I've seen this guy before. So let's have a look and you tell me. Does he come up? It's the Slim Lady.
Pretty good. It's pretty good. Lance is going to be happy with that as well.
Now, the better part is, he's not the only musical act in the family.
You're kidding.
The great Shane Whitnell, we have another lookalike that I think we could have a double singing act. So I reckon we have to reach out and see if these guys sing. Because if you look at this, there's a fantastic resemblance from the great Ed Sheeran.
I reckon Jake's happy with this as well. He wouldn't want some of his cash. I reckon they can swap each other on.
So I think we need to get these boys up. They can sing a bit of a duo. We've got a bit of rap and a bit of rock and roll.
We're going to wait for the boys this week to get them to the show. So maybe they might want to come out. Would they do Endless Love?
Well, they could do it actually.
They'd have to
Now the next one. We've gone back to the ages. Now, these two blokes have done a magnificent job with the teams.
Right.
You can't leave legends out of these lookalikes. We've gone with the young guys, we've gone for the different, but We've got Shorey and Gary Massey now.
Yes.
In the Muppets theme,
The
Muppets theme, if we have a look, Stadler and Waldorf. Exactly like the two.
That's authentic. Someone get that to Shorey. Look, even the
and if you listen to Gary Massey when he's talking on a game day, there's a lot of abuse coming from the actual thing itself.
I love it. I'm going to send that to Shorey with me today. When we finish the show, I'm going to send it to him. I've got his number in my phone. He'll either bash you or love you. Now, this is the part I've been looking for all year. Your good self. As much as you look there, don't shit me.
Very hurts you, man.
It better be George Clooney. That's all I'm telling you.
But let me tell you one thing.
I can even live with Ricky Gervais.
This is for you, for your lovely wife to see what she got now as to what she could have had back then. So, Compty, we've got a couple actually, because there's a little bit of a resemblance. I did the first one and I thought, this is a lot like your facial feature. Put it on. Come on.
Won't, sorry.
And then we've got No.
He's a sloth.
I
do like younger
Dazza. Younger Dazza's not too bad.
10 years ago.
But then I thought, that's probably Dazza now. Back then,
a couple of chins back there too, didn't I?
But the better part was, I thought, no, you've got to have someone who doesn't have hair.
He actually looks like me a
And
little
that's
bit.
scary. And that's what, you would have put your picture now would be a lot closer. But back then, you didn't have as much hair. So I thought, well, who else could we have that had your similar facial feature? And the obvious answer was going to be Shrek.
Shrek! He's a shocker.
So that's for all those people you've given a pot luck to, and you've had a great pot shot of people all year. This is for everyone there. The resemblance is just uncanny. Like, to be honest, the only difference, we had a paper you
quite sweet because I have slammed the odd person.
You've slammed quite a few.
But
so.
your access to the back end of this show will be effective at 8:30 p.m. tonight.
So that's the lookalikes. We thought we've gone all out. We've got plenty next week. We're going to have some fun with the people. Once we get the people there next week. We've had the Crocodile Hunter. We've got a fantastic music act. So that's where we've gone from now. So
we're releasing this side Wednesday night at the grand final show, and let me tell you, it's a cracker of a team. Like they're both amazing teams. We're going to be in contact with as many of those guys we can my next 4 or 5 days.
And just a note too, we're probably going to have a tape show next week, just so we can get everything in.
Yeah,
it's going to be hard to
be live. We've decided to.
Yeah, and it's just easier because when you're at somewhere else, you've got a different internet service. Yeah. So we will upload it on the Thursday
if we can.
That'll be our last. Yeah, that'll be our last Wednesday show.
Yep.
So we're going to go out with a bang. So if you have any suggestions of lookalikes, please send them in. Yeah, and give us some pictures as well.
I have got a couple that I haven't loaded yet because I got hijacked this week. But I just want to do a couple of things before we finish our last studio show.
Yep.
We would be absolutely bugger all without the guys that got behind us this year.
Yep.
Wayne Casa, Wayne Tech and Sons Rendering, fantastic company. Have really got behind us with no problems at all. Darren Fox, Senator, absolutely fantastic gentleman, legend. KJY Electrics, they cover some of our costs on the running costs on here. GKY Constructions, just nothing's too much dramas when we need it. LJL Cabinets was our first sponsor to come on. Rick, so if you're looking for a kitchen, speak to Rick. He's the main man.
But also too, let's have a shout out to all the people who actually came on this year. And a
great sign Footy.
And a massive one to Nipper, who decided to be our first guest. Like he was the first live. It was fantastic. All the clubs that allowed us to come down over pre-season, all the girls' teams that made us feel welcome.
Sorry, Bonnets, I didn't mean to do that. What happened there? It's not fair to put up photos of you that discredit you. So
we're
not drunk beer out of a straw.
You know, you get drunk quicker. It's the cheapest way to do things.
You are a cheap shit.
But to all the people, to all the clubs that we've been, to everyone.
Rhonda Carmichael.
Rhonda, who sent me a message during the week. She's unable to make it, but she is an avid fan of the show. As much as we give him a lot of flack, Fletch for being amazing for all the access, Vinny to tell us the access.
Every week. Jules
everyone who comments. Jules, even though you bagged me out tonight.
Get in on you, Jules.
But everyone and all the guys that have been on the show, I think that's, it's our first year. It's beyond what we actually thought would actually happen. The amount of people that have come on, we've had a ball. It's been well beyond what we expected. So
I meant to announce it last week, but we didn't. But we've had over 2 million views, visits, whatever across all the platforms.
We've been looked at 2 million times.
Yeah, like there's a lot of upset people, and a lot more comfortable husbands out there going, well, if they're the threat,
right, yeah.
None of this would have been possible all year. We started with 2 of the shittiest microphones, and we upgraded to shittier microphones.
Yeah.
We've had a ball. It's not over, but it's our
back.
last studio show as we go live next week. So to everybody, even Ben Keane here, Ben's on here every week, so supportive. Pat each on the back. He's a dickhead. He's an absolute whacker. We've honestly had a ball. It's been fun. And weeks when we do it a bit harder, we've had a hard day, this has been amazing. And we want to thank especially Rob Bolson and Darren Collins for showing us that you can never have enough alcohol in the fridge. They visited. And we got him out of here about 3
I like
a.m.
how Balls are so relaxed about the yesteryear, and he was so relaxed.
Relax. Mate, he's stressed. He's stressed. He's been done a fantastic job.
Because I don't want to walk in there.
All right, guys. So we will do a Sunday wrap up of the finals. Then we get ready for a big Wednesday night show. I'll be in contact with everyone that's got a table over the next few days, and it's going to be a great night. You're going to get to meet 44, up to 44 of the stars of these 2 yesteryear sides. We've got JD there, we've got Deeks there, we've got players from every club. We've got Nick McColl singing, Jamie Churchill singing.
Sienna's coming down.
She's going to be live. She's going to be up there with us. Joke of the year. She tells a little bit of a better joke than me. There's no doubt about that. So, guys, until next Sunday, keep kicking goals, and thank you so much for joining us.